Hey visibility hacker, welcome to today's video. We're talking about how Restream works, specifically how we use Restream in the visibility hacking world to boost our brand, to boost our customers' brands, and to really start using those tools, our live streaming tools, to connect with our ideal customer. So if you want to learn more about this, then this is definitely the video for you. Hey, I'm Coach Molle from Visibility Hacking Studios, and as I already mentioned, we help small brands, small businesses, visionary entrepreneurs connect with their ideal customers. And my favorite way of doing this is using live streaming and creating shows, or creating stages, as we like to say it here in the visibility hacking world. So today, I'm going to tap into all of that brand knowledge and all of that streaming knowledge and help refine it down to what you need to know. Restream is a really cool tool that helps us be seen everywhere. And I've used it in a variety of different ways, and so we're going to refine that down for you today. First, we're going to talk about making your stream worth watching in the first place. Then we're going to talk about a couple of powerful tools that Restream gives us. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you our visibility hacking secret that will effortlessly turn your viewers, casual viewers, into paying fans. So if this interests you and you're ready to get a little bit techie with me, then stay tuned and I'll see you after the intro. First things first, you have to do the prep work. I always stress that we have to focus on the foundations before we can build a beautiful house. Because I know if you build on a shaky foundation, your house is gonna fall down. So we're gonna try and avoid that by building a solid foundation for our show. And it's actually pretty simple. There's only 3 steps to this part of the process. The first step is to grab attention with your graphics. This is what we call visual authority. And if you're interested in us doing a deeper dive into the topic of visual authority, then clearly you're gonna let me know in the comments and I will get that video out for you guys. But in the meantime, we're gonna talk about creating graphics. We're gonna talk about your lower thirds. We're gonna talk about creating that brand on your stream. And you can use free tools like Canva, or you can use more professional tools like Photoshop to bring your brand to life. But you want to make sure that you're creating that plan ahead of time and creating graphics that fit to that plan. I know this because I get so easily sidetracked in the designing phase that sometimes if I don't have a plan, I'm just gonna create graphics until I fall asleep. And that leads to a little bit of overwhelm when it comes to creating your content, but it also leads to distraction, and distraction means we're not moving forward. So let's move forward into the second part of the process. You're gonna create your graphics, and then you're going to figure out the software that you need to use. So if you're just starting out, I recommend using a tool called StreamYard. All of the features you'll need are embedded into StreamYard. It's really easy to use. But if you want to take your stream experience to the next level, you really want to flesh out the beautifulness that we can. We really want to bring our brand to life. We want to grab visual attention. We want to stop people immediately in their tracks from scrolling. And we want to be able to be recognizable even when people aren't listening to our voice. And this is what we do when we connect our graphics to the right software. And so what we use in the visibility hacking world for those more advanced shows, that really more fleshed out world, and how we like to use Restream, is by using a tool called OBS. OBS is open broadcast software that is free to use, and it's like professional quality, which is absolutely amazing. So shout outs to all of our open source programmers who make open source technology available for everyone to use. It makes our connections better, deeper, and we couldn't do it without those programmers. So shout outs to you guys, support open source software, and let's get back to talking about creating our shows. So now that we have OBS and we've started to lay in all of our graphics, we're getting used to how we can flow between different scenes. We're really bringing our brand to life in a way that we never were able to do before. Now we have to talk about step number 3 in this process. If you want to use Restream to its full capacity, it's very easy to get sidetracked and distracted by the power of the Restreaming tool. Okay, cool. So here's the background. Restream is a tool that allows us to take our single feed out of OBS, and instead of just going to one location where our audience is waiting for us, we can actually send that same stream to multiple platforms. For example, you can have your live show show up on LinkedIn at the same time that it shows up on Facebook, in the same time that it shows up in your Facebook group, and then the same time that it shows up on YouTube, and it also feeds out to Twitch, etc., etc., etc. All at the same time, which is really, really cool. But you're not going to create the same kinds of connections with your customers if you just stream to everywhere. And I promise you, I know this from experience because that's how I got started. I was like, I'm just gonna create this really awesome show and send it out to everywhere, and then because Restream allows me to connect to all of these platforms, then I'll just be big on every platform. I'll just blow up overnight. If you've heard my story about thinking that I can run my business quietly without anyone knowing, well, we know that that doesn't work. And the other thing that doesn't work is sending out your content and trying to have these conversations on platforms that you don't have a relationship with your customers on. So I want you to start out, we're coming up with plans, I want you to start out by listing off the platforms that you are currently engaging in conversations with your ideal customer. Or you're engaging in groups. There is your ideal customer sitting there waiting for you. Don't just go on every platform because you can. Eventually, you will be able to grow into those platforms, but I want you to focus on 1 or 2 places where you're already connecting with your customers. That'll make your life so much easier, I promise. I love making your lives a little bit easier, especially if you're boosting your brand's visibility. And the easiest way for you to boost your visibility and to get more tips, tricks, and strategies is to hit the subscribe button. Join us here on the Visibility Hacking channel. We would love to see you around more often, and we would love the YouTube algorithm to feed up more of our stuff for you so you can get these strategies, these tips, these tools hot off the press and start implementing them fast in your business. So we talked about a lot of things that aren't necessarily Restream related. So let's get back to talking about Restream, because there's really cool tools, really powerful tools that are embedded in the Restream platform that I want you guys to get to know. First off, first thing that I'll tell you about, I mentioned StreamYard earlier. You can totally just get a Restream account. A lot of the same features are embedded into Restream as they are in StreamYard. So if you're just getting started, either of those 2 options are available for you. So let's talk about process for a little bit. Once we create our show, we've created our graphics, we know where we want to go, we're in OBS, now we have to think about where we're going and how do we get our people to show up. What's really cool is that when we create an event in Restream, we will get automatic notifications on the different platforms that we have chosen to send our feed out to. So if you're on Facebook, for example, you can then go to that automatically generated post and you can create an event. Or you can take the link to that event and you can add it into an email, an automated email response for people who sign up to your email list, for example. Or even better, you can create a separate email list just for people interested in your show, and then you can send them the link on a regular basis just before you go live. Pretty cool, but we have to keep that part of the process in mind. If we are just expecting Restream to get that notification out to everyone, sad to say, it doesn't necessarily work that way. Second thing I want you to remember to do every time is when you're in Restream, you also have to update the title and the description for each of your episodes. Otherwise, you'll have the same headline and the same notification going out every single time you go live. So do it every episode. Change that title, change that description, and you'll start creating a bank of content that's really engaging for your people. What's also cool is that you can save your lives and post those in a vault or in a course area, or you can bring them up and repost them as content later on down the road. If you're creating valuable content to begin with, you're going to want to get that out to as many people as possible. Question of the day, I am curious, are you currently streaming your content out to more than one platform? Or are you someone who streams only using the in-house features on a single platform? For example, are you a streamer on Facebook who only uses the Facebook Live platform? You've never used a Restream or a StreamYard or an OBS before, and you just go directly through Facebook or through YouTube or through Twitch, whatever platform you guys are on. Let me know down in the comments. I'm really curious where you guys are in your journey to be visible. Alright, so we are now streaming. We are now pushing that feed live. So what do we actually do when we are live? How can Restream help us connect to our ideal customers, turn our casual viewers into paying fans? How can we use the tool to help us do this? Simple, let me show you. First cool thing is that Restream has a feature called Restream Chat. So what you can do with this feature is all of the different platforms that you're sending your feed out to, all of those platforms that allow for a chat conversation will all be amalgamated into one simple to follow chat window. This means you don't need to have a YouTube feed up and a Facebook feed and a Twitch feed and respond to the comments separately. It will bring all of the comments together so everyone on all the different platforms will be able to engage in that same conversation. Super cool, I think. Now, since you've made it this far, I'm going to give you our secret strategy that works so well. Okay, so if you're streaming to your Facebook profile, for example, what we recommend for our businesses that are using Facebook as a platform to engage with their clients is that we recommend you stream to your Facebook profile and to your Facebook group. And what you can do is you can do what we like to call the tease drop cut. So what this means is you're going to stream to, let's say, 2 different platforms at the same time. You're going to give the first little bit of your show. It's going to be available to everyone. But ultimately, our goal is to get people into that Facebook group. So what we're going to do, this is our Facebook group, this is our Facebook platform, or Facebook profile. So we're going to take the feed and we're going to send it out to both of them. Then, halfway through, quarter of the way through, after your first segment, whatever you decide, you're gonna say, all right, so if you're watching this live show on my Facebook platform or my Facebook profile, you're going to want to join us in the Visibility Hackers Facebook group to get the rest of today's live. So I'm gonna give you a 30-second countdown, and at the end of that countdown, this feed is getting cut on our profile, and the rest of the show will be available for you live in the Visibility Hackers Facebook group. And at that point, you cut the feed to your Facebook profile and continue producing the rest of your show only to your Facebook group. This creates a teaser, and if you do this every episode, you do this on a regular basis, it will create a bridge of conversion for your people to move from casually watching you. Consider that my simple tip to warm up a cold audience. Now, if you want more tips, tricks, strategies, of course you're gonna subscribe to the channel, but you can love to have you in the community. You'll get to see our live shows, you have access to our Friday Night Live where you can ask myself and all of the other visibility hacking coaches any questions to help build your brand's visibility. And so before I sign off, I can't wait to see you over in the group. Remember, I love you, be excellent to each other, and just go live, because your people are out there waiting for you.